Hi guys, I'm Chris.
And I'm Andre.
Welcome back to yet another episode of Nerdgasm. And man, it's a kids from the 80s dream come true.
Oh yeah, the
we
toys
have
that are being
today.
released nowadays, it just shows what a great era that was.
Because our people are in control right now.
That's what I'm
you
saying.
realize
exactly,
that, right?
Yeah.
Like
You're
people
going
from the
back
80s
and seeing the stuff that we had in the 80s,
Yes.
and they're like, I wish it did that. I wish it was like this. I wish they made it like, now they are.
And it's coming true.
Exactly.
So right now, in the form of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles classics. Made by, still, I love it. It's the original
It's
company.
by Playmates.
From the 80s and 90s, Playmates Toys, which is really awesome. So we got to start off with the leader, and we'll show him in package.
Yep.
Here he is.
So there's Leonardo, my absolute favorite Mutant Ninja Turtle.
What did Leonardo look like back in the day, Andre?
So this is the 80s version that Playmates did, and pretty much all the Playmates action figures were like this, because they did these, they had Toxic Crusaders, they did Dick Tracy.
Yep.
They were all in this little squatty position.
Yep.
And they had articulated, legs and arms and head. And then just kind of like at the elbow, they'd be swivel.
Yeah.
Not necessarily bendable, but just swivel.
And all the weapons were the same color.
Yeah, it was like all the same brown plastic.
Yep.
But it made do.
But back then, I thought it was cool.
It got the job done. That's the way I looked at it.
Good playability.
Yeah.
And fun and durable. You throw them around. And,
exactly.
Never really break them.
So.
All right, I'll hold this.
This is amazing.
Get
now.
ready.
I said this, if they made the Turtles like this back in the 80s, I would never leave home without them.
Our minds would have been blown.
I know.
We weren't ready for this.
Exactly. So, look at this. This is amazing. And no, this is not a statue. This is just me having fun posing these toys.
Because they're so superposable.
Exactly. They have, 32 points of articulations each?
From their heads down to their individual toes.
I know. Each toe is posable. Each finger is posable.
Yeah.
The weapons actually have the colors on there. It's not like just
brown
one
anymore.
color.
Yeah.
So they're just amazingly done. The scabbards, they hold everything. They have the same weight that in the original series, how they held their weapons, like in their belt or in their scabbards or something like that. Yep. The only drawback I have found with these figures, though the articulation is great in their hands, it's harder for them to hold weapons. They can drop them fairly easy nowadays.
Because their hands get so loose from being so articulated, they don't hold
exactly.
that
You can't get a full grip on here.
Right.
Here it's phased in one spot. Yeah. It's going to keep that weapon in there no matter what you do.
Yeah.
But it's a small thing, but I like the articulated fingers. They're great. But that's the only thing. It's kind of harder for them to hold their weapons.
Yeah. And they each have a stand.
They all have their stand. The name is on the stand, too.
Each one has their own name on the stand.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to Donatello next.
Yep.
And here's our old old baby. There he is.
Donatello.
You remember him. He was actually my first Ninja Turtle I ever got.
Oh, okay.
Donatello was my first one when they were first coming out.
The brainy one. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it was the only one in the store at the time.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, a Ninja Turtle. That was it. So what do we got now?
So we update now to 2012. And then we have the new Donatello.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. And the bow staff is definitely a different shade, a darker brown, with the white taping in the middle.
Yeah, we'll take a look at him in the package.
So it is in package.
And each turtle is in a different shade of green.
Yeah, just like the original toys.
The original toys. They've also got this nice graphics of the original ones too, from the animated series. Back there too.
And as we can see back there, it's 34 points of articulation.
Oh, wow.
I was wrong on that one.
34 points of articulation. That's amazing. All right, who are we doing next?
Moving right along.
Raphael.
Raphael.
There's that.
And now we're going to take a look at him today.
Yes. Wow.
And there he is.
That's cool.
Again, just the poses that you can put them in. I mean, look at they just look like just so awesome.
They do. They do.
And just like his predecessor, the sides are kept in the front of his belt. They paid close attention to that.
Yep.
And again, a different shade of green for every one of the turtles. I mean, it's not an extreme difference, but it's enough where, they're their own shade.
This was actually...
Believe it or not, my favorite upgrade. Yes, Leonardo is my favorite turtle.
Yeah.
But what they did with Michelangelo is incredible. So let's take a look at the original Michelangelo.
Yeah, there he is.
So here he is with his nunchuck.
This is the squishy head version, too.
So you got him early. Because my Leonardo has a squishy head. Everybody else has the hard head. But yeah, you went really old school with him.
Old one.
But as you can see, the nunchuck is, again, the same brown plastic as everything else. And it's just two handles with, like, a wire connecting them. And you could... I mean, it just doesn't bend, really. It just goes back to that position.
And those things snapped pretty easy.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people with, like, broken ones, because you'd store them in the back of his belt, like here, and sometimes they'd squish too much together.
And just break.
And it would break after a while.
Yep.
So a lot of people have broken nunchucks.
And Michelangelo was my favorite turtle as a kid.
Well, he's the party dude.
He's this crazy
That's
party,
right, so he's the party dude.
Yeah, funny.
So again, same articulation as the other ones, but then let's take a look at the new one.
Yeah, well, here
he is in package. And as you can see, like the other turtles, he's got that really awesome new look to him.
Yeah, that sculpt is nice.
Here is why I love
I know what you're
going to say here. So there you see him in all his badassery.
Yeah.
And he keeps his nunchucks in his back, but look at his nunchucks.
Real
chains. So not only do you have orange, which is his color on here.
Correct.
It is a real chain. Yeah.
And these are retailing for what?
Now, if you go to a retail store, they're $15.99. If you go to a hobby shop, I'd expect $19.99.
Yeah.
That seems to be going right over there.
But yeah, check them out. If you can find them, get them. Because, like I said, if you're a Ninja Turtle fan, you're going to absolutely love these.
Yeah, and Turtles are getting hot once again. Nickelodeon's got the license. New cartoons coming up.
Yep.
So, Turtles are cool. And the comic book series have been excellent. Yeah, Turtles are cool again.
Turtle power!
That's right.
Alright, guys, this is Chris.
And it's Andre.
Signing off for another episode.
Cowabunga!